Welcome back to Starkville Academy, where we go into the bottom half of the third inning. Leading off for the Volunteers is going to be the shortstop, number 12, Houston Clark. He flew out to right field back in the first inning. We're all tied at 1 with nobody out, and pitcher Spencer Smith still on the mound for the Cougars. He takes the sign. He'll be throwing off the windup. Here's the pitch. Calls strike number 1. Move that count to 0-1. Getting a little chilly up here in the booth. Spencer Smith looks in. Breaking ball called for strike number 2. Houston Clark laid off it, but it was still called for a strike. And we've moved into a pitcher's duel, fast-paced baseball game. The Cougar players get into position as Spencer Smith takes the sign, shakes off a couple. Here comes the delivery. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's out number 1 of the inning. So with 1 out and nobody on, coming to plate, the first baseman, number 10, Billy McGee. McGee pitched tonight's first game, with Starkville Academy won by a score of 8-3. Spencer Smith and Harper Arnold both settling down for their respective schools and seem to be doing a pretty good job of getting these batters down in order. Of course, Billy McGee in his first at bat got a single. He was left stranded on base. See if he can get something started here for the Volunteers in the bottom half of the third. Smith gets the sign. Here's the pitch. Fastball in the outside corner, call for strike 1. Standing in the on-deck circle, the right fielder, John McReynolds, awaits. Weather looking really bad for the rest of the week. Here's the pitch by Smith. Strike number 2 taken for Billy McGee. Spencer Smith really settling down here in the bottom half of the third inning with pinpoint control. Be an 0-2 count. Cole Chandler gives the sign, sets up on the outside corner. He gets Billy McGee to chase. We've had 2 batters. We've had 2 strikeouts. Now coming to bat, the right fielder, number 20, John McReynolds. So the third inning so far been a pitcher's dream, as we had 3 up, 3 down in the top half of the third, and we've had 2 up and 2 down in the bottom half of the third. Let's see if McReynolds can get something started for the Volunteers. Smith with the windup. Timeout called by John McReynolds. A cool, brisk night here at Volunteer Field. The pitch. Tried to get him to chase a curveball, a really nice pitch, but it's called for ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes. Spencer Smith looks on as Cole Chandler gives a sign, sets up on the outside corner. Ball's fouled away to even the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike. I do believe he just took out our van or our trailer. So a 1-1 count with 2 outs and nobody on. Spencer Smith with pinpoint control. Here comes the pitch. Fastball inside, makes him swing. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And my friend on the camera to the left of me just ducked and made me think that the ball was going to come through the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A chance to get out of the inning with 3 up and 3 down for Spencer Smith and the Hillcrest Cougars. Here comes the pitch. He tries it outside corner, moves the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Colt Cressman on deck for the Volunteers. John McReynolds tonight struck out in his only other at bat. Spencer Smith with the windup and the delivery. Curveball, very closely taken for ball 3. Moves the count to full. Here's the pitch. Fastball fouled out of play. Keeps the count at full. Ball's bouncing. The Cougar players get in position. Here's the pitch. Fastball called for ball 4. So put John McReynolds at first base with 2 outs. Coming to bat, the center fielder, number 17, Colt Cressman, hoping to start like game 1, a 2-out rally for the Volunteers. Of Of course, if you missed it earlier this evening, Jason Estabrook, the coach for the visiting Hillcrest Cougars, has been confined to the dugout after a crazy, putting it mildly, call in the first inning that saw both coaches argue. Coach Jody Britt from Starkville Academy obviously was more convincing, and Coach Estabrook did not like the call, so he is now sitting in the dugout watching this game. Here comes the pitch from Smith. Called for strike number one. Colt Cressman faked a bunt. Second baseman Hunter Peoples, number 14, on deck for the Volunteers. Smith throwing off the stretch, takes the sign, long time, shakes off two. Colt Cressman calls timeout, steps out of the box. John McReynolds takes his lead at first base for the Volunteers. Spencer Smith comes set. Here's the pitch. Runner takes off. Fastball. No chance at second base. Give the stolen base to McReynolds. Count moves to 1-1 for Colt Cressman, but now with two outs, he has a runner in scoring position at second base, and the Volunteers have a chance to put themselves ahead in this ball game. McReynolds gets a decent-sized lead at second base. I'm sure he'll be looked back. Timeout call by Cressman. A real cat-and-mouse game been played in both games tonight by these Cougar fielders and these Volunteer batters and runners. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball called for ball two. Both the hitters and the pitcher trying to find this strike zone, as it's been all over the place here in game two. Seen lots of arguments with this umpiring crew in both games. There's a fastball called ball high, so move the count to 3 balls and 1 strike. And what you don't want to see here as Spencer Smith is to get the first 2 outs in the inning and suddenly find yourself with runners on first and second. And Hunter Peoples coming to the plate. Here comes the pitch. Fastball ripped. Nice play at second base. He'll pick up, he'll throw to first in time for the Volunteers in the bottom half of the third inning. No runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 left on. After 3 complete, we're still tied at 1.